Lucas Oil, maybe size-wise, but it's very deceiving. It's hard to tell what the actual shape of the track is from the camera here. The banking, it's very flat coming in here into 3, coming real low like Dallas is doing right there, but then it gets a ton of banking right here and on the exit. It's very different from side to side.
Dallas is our points leader right now. He's got a 13-point lead over Briar Bauman sitting in second. Robinson's in third. Then you got the rookie Trent Lowe up there, fresh off a victory at the Springfield Mile.
This camera angles, the way that it's showing the dirt, so see how dry it looks right there coming through there as it's starting to lay a little bit. We've got a yellow flag out somewhere on the course, but it's starting to take rubber already.
I think they're just keeping those yellow flags out during this whole first practice session, which maybe they weren't told to bring them in yet. But yeah, they're just keep the riders on their toes. First time out here this year, so kicking up a little bit of dust. It is very, very hot outside, about 95 degrees.
So hot out. I went and sat in the camper for a little bit, cooled down as we get the white flag, but it is really hot. And look at how it's already taken a ton of rubber already. We see guys riding all over the racetrack.
You know, the track looks better than it did 1 year ago. When we got here 1 year ago, there was some rocks out there. They had to clean those off, and it took a little while for the track to come in, but it's already coming in fast this year out here at the finale of the 2025 season. Quickest on the track was Briar Bauman, the 3 Harley-Davidson, 1:7.729. We got 2 groups of our AFT Super Twins, and we have 2 groups of AFT singles and 1 group of the Royal Enfield Build Train Race program. They got to practice a little bit yesterday. Maybe that's why we got some rubber down so fast.
Yeah, and got to dust the cobwebs. If I was over there talking to Jen Lewis about that, and the girls got to get out there and get a little bit more seat time since it's been so long since they've been here racing with us. They weren't able to do the round in Lucas Oil when we rescheduled there, so it's good to be able to get them out here and get their feet wet again.
That's the sign when you come on into this racetrack. We are just off of Highway 54. It's during Bike Fest out here. Lake of the Ozarks is where we're at. This is Lake Ozark Speedway. So just to clarify a few things out here. Group number 2 pulling onto the racetrack. 70's Declan Bender, 14 Logan McGrain, 25 Ben Lau, the 37 Bronson Bauman, 29 Billy Ross on his own KTM. Just finished that thing up. 79 Dalton Gauthier on the Racing Unlimited Kawasaki. Logan Eisenhardt's on the 66, and Daniel Poole is on the 11 bike. There is Declan Bender. I think he had a pretty good season.
Yeah, joining a new team, you know, coming off of the Indian last year with Johnny Goad and that whole program and jumping up to the Twins class, for him to be able to hop over onto the Yamaha and really have a good platform.
Well, he didn't even know he was going to be on that bike because he was
switched over at Lima. That was his first run, and he got 4th place. Was it there?
Exactly. He rode on the First Impressions Husqvarna in the singles class at Sonoy. So bounced around a little bit. Looks like he's found his place, found a good spot for him. This is practice for you folks just tuning in on FloRacing, and for you folks just joining us here in the grandstands. 2 rounds of practice for both the AFT classes. 1 round of practice for the Build Train Race, and then they start qualifying. A little bit different format for them. They'll have 2 main events here today. We talked about that a little bit ago. There goes McGrain on the Brian Barnes Racing Schaefer's Motorsports KTM.
Track's going to get faster for this group. They're going to have a little bit of an advantage. We saw that at Lucas Oil. Bronson Bauman was able to come away in second in qualifying there. Same sort of thing happened at Lucas Oil, or excuse me, that was at Lucas Oil. Same sort of thing I could see maybe happening here because more and more rubber is just going to keep getting laid down. Bronson up to 8th right now.
Fastest on the racetrack, the 37 Bronson Bauman's on the same Yamaha he rode at the Peoria TT.
Yep, Peoria TT.
Got 4th there. That was impressive. Good run. Yeah, I like it.
Second or third time that bike ever got raced, too.
Really? Yeah. That's Andrew Butler's
Mike
Butler's bike.
Mike Butler Racing.
Okay. That's the bike you rode?
I gave her a debut.
At Lima?
Yeah.
And then Mike rode it at
DeCoin Mile and won.
And then Greenville, Ohio.
Yeah. And he also raced it at Springfield Short Track.
Wow. White flag is out. Big P, our flag man. And Raymond Rizzo, which is our chaplain. He is the assistant flag man down there on the start-finish line. Harley-Davidson's 1st and 2nd so far in this practice session.
That's what Briar Bauman needs today. Needs as much help as he can get.
1:7.729 is the fastest so far as they come to the checkered flag. There is Bronson Bauman.
Track's definitely a little bit slippery right now. There's not a ton of rubber down, even though it does look black in spots. You see Bronson Bauman really sliding up, coming off of turn 4 there. It's going to be this year. This track last year really took a long time, almost until the main events, till it really came in and got racy. But when we got to those main events, you could go anywhere almost.
And that's why I'm wondering if that practice session for the Royal Enfields didn't help us for today.
No, it probably didn't, honestly, because those bikes probably didn't put down nearly as much rubber. I wasn't here to see.
Just car racing probably then? Do you think the car racing has got the rubber into the dirt now a little bit more?
Yeah, it's just so hot today. Like we'd mentioned it, and I feel bad talking about it because at Peoria, we just kept talking about how hot it was, and we were in this nice AC truck. But seriously, it is like 95 degrees out. It's the hottest part of the day. It's going to start cooling off at 4 o'clock. But the track's just hard, dry, and hot.
And we did hear earlier that the wind will die down a little bit later on this afternoon as well. So it is very windy, which is good. I think a little wind, a little breeze for our riders and for our fans is good. The Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program moving onto the racetrack right now. This is their practice session, their only practice session. The next time they'll come out will be qualifying. The 5 is Emma Gotch, the 11, Taya Little. Emma is from South Dakota, Taya Little from Canada. Maricela Rodriguez is on the 113. She's very fast. 28, Maya Maffei. 58 is Mallory McGill.
We got a good little championship here, too. I was talking to Jenny about it earlier today, but Emma Gotch and Taya Little, but Maricela Rodriguez is also there with a shot at it as well. And
Mallory McGill on the 58. The 2 bike is Michaela Nichols. The 8 out there is Christiana Ross. 13, Julia Hess. 22 is Hannah Robertson. 35, Hannah Lang. Justine Marsh on the 182, and 555, Sandriana Shipman. Oh, I messed that up. Giovannina. Yeah, that is Sandriana's little sister. I'm used to the 555, the triple nickel racing, you know?
Just, we're warming up.
We're practicing just like they are.
Just like they are.
It's your last race of the first season. Woo! We get to peel the rookie stripe off when we get done tonight.
No, we were talking about it earlier, man. It's been a heck of a year.
Yeah.
Out here getting in the track. Yeah, it's going to be good to see. I mean, 2 main events for these ladies tonight, getting a little bit of practice yesterday like we mentioned. So look at this, 2 qualifying sessions and then 2 main events.
They'll have 1 heat race a little bit later on as well. And there goes the 555 moving up there. She goes up to 4th is Shipman. Giovannina. There's the 11, Taya Little. Taya was the winner of round number 2, and she got 2nd at the first round and 3rd at round number 3. So far they've had 3 rounds with us. They'll have 2 rounds here today. So we've had 3 rounds, 3 different winners.
And it's been such a long time since we went to Ventura. So have any of these ladies spent a lot of time practicing and getting better, like Maricela Rodriguez? She still has a chance at the championship. So will she have spent the summer honing her craft?
I saw her on a quad on her social media. She races 4-wheelers also. Racing's racing, right?
It all
you gotta
helps.
Get up there. Yeah, exactly. There's the aerial view. Looks like we got a big oval, a big circle now. You can see how wide they're going on the front straightaway and how wide they're going on the back straightaway. Looks like the white flag is waving out here for the Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. The backside of the truck's getting a little froggy over there.
I wish we could get a topographical map.
Topographical, huh?
Of the elevation changes here.
That's some of your Arizona State schooling coming in. 20.187. What I was saying for the folks on the other side of the truck is they're not going straight on the straightaways, right? They're not going straight on the straightaways. They're kind of arcing around.
Yeah, you're arcing it in.
Yeah, a big circle.
There's so many, like, you can't tell. From there, it seems like you're coming off the corner. It's kind of flat coming off there, but going into the next corner, it's also flat. But there's so much banking in the center of the corners.
There's a look at the pit area down the back straightaway. Welcome to the Show Me State. Up next, AFT Singles presented by Kicker. If you aren't familiar, we locked up the championship at Saturday at the Springfield Mile. And that was won by the 59 of Tom Drain, the Estenson Racing rider, picking up the 4th championship for Tim Estenson and the crew. Some of the folks still pulling in. There's the sign. Jefferson City to the kind of northeast, and Lake Ozark is to the south and west.
Where are you staying?
Right on the lake. Osage Beach. Where are you saying? Is that motorhome right there?
One of them.
I don't see it.
I don't want to tell you.
We're going to put the big 36 sticker on it. Oh, yeah, it's honeymoon weekend for you. You got married 1 week ago today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. How heavy is that ring?
It's pretty heavy.
You play with it all the time, or just not right now when
I
you're
get
talking?
nervous.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Oh, Drain got it sideways right there.
Tom Drain testing the limits there with the traction. It is definitely slippery right now.
Especially right off the blue groove. Take a look at this replay. Watch the 59.
You don't see him make mistakes like this very often. He just starts to apply the gas harder and harder, and he hits a little bump there. He gets back on it and just, man, he stays in it. Just keeps almost going around on him.
That's the first mistake we've seen this season, maybe, for the 59.
It's definitely the biggest one I've seen that I remember. It's just all of a sudden he puts his foot up like it's supposed to start grabbing and just goes and.
Man, it almost came back around on him.
Most of the time you say, like, we won't remember stuff like that. That one's big enough to where he'll remember it.
He'll remember
that one's
later
just
on.
big enough to remember it.
Hey, no surprise. Chad Coast goes to the top spot for 49, 17.819. He's very good in practice and qualifying.
He's great at qualifying. And
question from the back of the truck. Yeah, like I just mentioned there, Colby, how does Chad, he's fast in practice and qualifying. Seems like every track we go to. How does he get that to pay it off at the end of the night?
It's a tough question. I had some of the same issues. Mine would be track related, to where earlier in the day there was more moisture and stuff like that in the racetrack, and I settled down with it better. But for Chad, it's a hard thing to say. He's done this all year long, and really for the past couple of years, where he'll have really good runs and then even good heat races, but then come main event time, he's just good, right? He's not great like he is right now.
And we shouldn't be surprised right now. At Lucas Oil, he was by far the fastest during practice and qualifying. They watered the racetrack, and when he went out there, he lost the front end and kind of took him out of the picture for the rest of the night. But I think he's got the speed. He just needs to put a full night together. And he did good at Springfield with his teammate Tadman.
Yeah, and he's really good there. And maybe it is something about that, where when things get spread out just a little bit more, he can show the true raw speed he has. But on these short tracks, there can be so much going on at once. And an older rider, even later in my career, I didn't want to get in the thick of it as much. I didn't want to be put in the danger zone, basically. So maybe Chad just feels good when it's qualifying and he can just go out there and put in a hot lap. But when it comes time to actually race bar to bar, your mind kind of takes over at some point, right?
So should I tell him that you just called him old, or?
We all got to admit to it eventually, right? That the clock always wins.
Exactly. Group number 2, AFT Singles, presented by Kicker. First round of qualifying, 79 is Dalton Gauthier. He's got a very good-looking bike. I went over there and checked that earlier. He's got, it's kind of
Travis Scott.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Travis Scott, BMW, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That is.
Yep. That's
Travis Scott, the rapper, has this cool car.
He's looking down.
Dalton wanted to get his bike kind of match that.
He was having issues looking down already. 79, still looking at the motorcycle. There's the 100. Walker Porter had a good rookie season. The Alabama Slammer riding for the Turner Honda race team.
Glad to see him up and all right after that incident on the back straightaway there in Springfield. That was a nasty get off he had, just to be able to get back up and keep it going.
I will say he had a decent first season. It's hard to step into this class from the amateur ranks.
It is very hard, and so many good people right now. This class is so difficult. At this point, jumping up into the pro ranks, it can be tough, especially when you're a highly touted amateur like that, and you're expected to immediately go to the front. So when you finish in that 10 to 7, 10 to 5 range, it might not feel as good as what it's supposed to, but
but on the other hand, you got Tadman, who shows up in his first 2 races and wins everything. Clean sweeps both nights. So yeah, it can happen.
Oh, absolutely. And there is people who said that Tadman was a huge amateur, and I knew the name, but I didn't know like how fast he was going to be. And then when you show up and win your first 2 dominantly, it's like, oh my goodness. But the other side, I'll take this one. So the other side of the truck did say we have Wednesday meetings before the events start, and Scotty Dugler did say that Cage Tadman was going to be the guy to be and to win.
Yeah, and I had a gut feeling, going to his, a track that he's raced on before, and he's just a very good rider. And he's 17. He didn't, turn pro just as soon as he could when he turned 16. He matured a little bit longer, and when he felt he was ready to go pro, he did, and it showed up. And we were just talking about Walker Porter as the checkered flag comes out. He is up to 4th in this session, but it's still Chad Coast. Quick time out here in this one, but every once in a while I get lucky. 17.819 for the 49 of Chad Coase. That was group number 2. Dalton Gauthier pulled off early, and again, he had a little issue out there in that number 79. The water truck is coming out already, so they're going to do their best to keep the moisture in this racetrack, and it's very warm outside. I hope you fans keep moisture in you as well. Drink plenty of fluids out there.
Bike Fest here's pretty busy.
You had fun downtown last night.
Very briefly. I don't know if actually I was smiling the whole time because it was so fun to see. I like people watching down there, man. It was a lot busier than I thought. I had a lot of enjoyment seeing different motorcycles and seeing people.
Oh, yeah. I forgot there's hill climb going on. That's also an AMA Pro sanctioned event. It's up in Idaho, and we've been watching that on some of our other screens all day long. The hardest part to me is coming back down. I mean, I don't think I'd want to do that. Look at that low rider.
Well, Scotty, you just got to make it to the top. You get a nice trail back down the other side. But what are we on here?
That's some big Yamaha.
Kind of Yamaha.
Yep. Is that Justin Jones? He's not here today. Well, it's
Justin
got a 9
Jones,
and a 1 on there.
He was supposed to be up. He was supposed to be here today riding a Harley Davidson, but he's up in Canada riding maybe Flameborough Downs or somewhere.
Yeah, you never raced in Canada.
Never.
You grew up
I never
right
even
there.
Been to Canada.
You grew up right there.
I was supposed to go last week and I didn't.
Because you got married.
No, I wanted to go boating.
Boating?
Yeah.
Before you got married or after you got married?
Wakeboarding. I was wakeboarding. I was tearing it up.
After you got married?
No,
or before? You're an idiot.
No, I'm a pro.
Okay, he's a pro wakeboarder, ladies and gentlemen. It's Colby Carlisle, just in case. Do they have numbers in pro wakeboarding?
No.
Okay.
There is a guy that looks like me that used to be a good pro wakeboarder, Bob Sovin.
And now he works outside and does the social media
BK,
stuff for us.
Big Colby.
Yep.
Here we go.
All right, he is locked and loaded. There he comes. They got a big run up to the jump. They're going through the gearbox right here. Here goes through gate number 1. A little right-hander right here. Now gate number 2, so far so good. He's trying a different path. Getting a little bit loose. Now he's going to switch. Now he's going. There you go. Gate 3, gate 4. Oh! Man, he was almost there. Now the hard part, like I said, coming back down. Man. You ever hill climb?
He had competition blocking his line. That's why he couldn't take the left line.
No, you can't go over there. You gotta go between the 2 gates.
No, I've never done this. I couldn't. I don't think I could, but that bike off the jump was so much faster than those 450s we were watching earlier today.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, that guy dropped his coming on down. First round of practice is in the books.
This is another thing we need a topographical map for. See how tall this actually is. It doesn't show up. Do you even know what a topographical map is?
It's way above my pay grade.
Lines,
I have to Google that when we go to break. We're going to step away from here. They're putting some moisture on the racetrack. Round 1 of practice is completed. We come back. Round number 2 of practice up next, and the Royal Enfield will get ready for their qualifying right here at the Lake Ozark Short Track. We'll be back in just a moment.
Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Check us out on the web at backontrack.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life.
For more than 50 years, Kicker has been rocking the planet on anything that moves. Kicker, the legacy continues.
Gotta have a lucky charm when you ride, right? Makes you feel safe and protected out there.
That's why I never leave home without a photo of the little ones.
Bracelet from my husband.
Oh, lucky rabbit's foot.
Lucky rabbit named Swoot. It's Swedish.
That's a whole rabbit.
Named Swoot.
Well, there's really no need for a lucky charm when you ride.
Not when America's #1 motorcycle insurance got your back.
We're just gonna ignore the fact that Carl has a rabbit.
Named Swoot.
We're going full throttle with Mission Foods. There's no holding back American flat track when you combine the fiercest dirt track riders and tastiest products. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Is proud to be the official trophy of American Flat Track. Jostens also produces great commemorative race products for race fans. Please visit us at jostens.com to see all of our commemorative racing products. Racing is all about performance, speed, precision, and pushing the limits. Aeroflex brings that same mindset to liquid packaging with a design that's lighter, tougher, and better for the planet. Simply tear the tab, squeeze, and experience a better way to package liquids. Today's Progressive American Flat Track race is being streamed live and on demand on FloRacing, part of the Flow Sports Network. With a FloRacing subscription, you get access to all Flow Sports sites. That's over 25 sports. Never miss a moment. With over 20,000 events per year, in-depth coverage, behind-the-scenes access, original documentaries, highlights, breaking news, and more. Visit FloRacing.com to learn more and sign up today. That's FLORacing.com.
You're made for this. Made for ungodly alarm times and not hitting snooze. You're built to build a dream, a biz, a reputation. You've got oil in your veins, even if there's a grande macchiato in that cup holder. Because a big check and a little love sit at the bottom of that pile. So you get it done smarter, safely, and ASAP. Because you're made for this. And we're made how you're made. Cat, let's do the work.
Progressive American Flat Track, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing, roars into the 2026 season with a Daytona short track doubleheader, March 5th and 6th, during the world-famous Daytona Bike Week. Witness the heart-pounding, non-stop thrills of incredible car-banging action as the nation's top riders battle it out under the lights. Don't miss the epic season opener. 2 nights, 1 legendary track, endless thrills. The 2026 season starts here. Lock in your seats at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Welcome back to Lake Ozark short track out here. The final round, round number 16 of Progressive American Flat Track. Getting set to go with our second round of practice for our Super Twins, and then after the Super Twins will be the Royal Enfields, and then that will be their qualifying session. And then the last group will be our AP singles. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What are you fiddling with over? Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. He's off the market. What's wrong with this finger?
That one's Springfield
That one doesn't
Mile.
do anything. He's off the market, ladies and gentlemen. Colby got married 1 week ago today.
Week ago today.
This is your honeymoon. Lake Ozarks. Yes.
Yeah, you can say that.
I did.
Oh, yeah, no, man, it's been an amazing week, and last week was so special. I had all my favorite people. Well, almost all my favorite people there.
Almost all of us.
Yeah,
the other side of the truck wasn't there.
Yeah, well, you guys were there.
He said the other side of the truck said they're taking their presents back.
It was amazing. I'm a very lucky man and get to come here and celebrate last race of the year. And the biggest thing for me was please don't schedule an AFT race.
It was
for
close,
the same
right?
day as my wedding, and luckily we skipped it.
Or Coy Texter race, you do that series as well.
That as well. So luckily we got good on both ends and got to come here. Got to do my wedding last weekend in Springfield the weekend before.
Celebrated last night during Bike Fest down there on where the strip is.
You need to go down there tonight.
I'm probably going to if I get out of here at a decent time.
Be ready.
All right. Be ready. Is it?
It's loud.
How else? Before we bring in this other guy over here, how is it different than the Sturgis Rally than the Daytona Rally?
I think it's more compact, so it's very dense. Yeah, everyone's all in one area. It's very loud. A lot of rev limiters, a lot of Harleys, and feels good. Just kind of like that vibe you want out of a Sturgis Bike Week. So now I've done Daytona, Sturgis, and here at Lake of the Ozarks Bike Fest. Biketoberfest. Should we hit that one up too?
Might as well. Let's go to the one down there in Arkansas too.
Well, the guy over there probably knows a few more that we're not thinking of.
Yeah, this guy right here, Ricky Rackman. Come on in here. So come in here a little bit. Yeah, look, Ricky Rackman's here. Kristen. He rode to all three of the ones we just talked about.
And he said this one was the hottest.
This one is definitely your hottest ride. As hottest as temperature is what he said. So how many miles did you do so far for over 14,000? 14,536.7, I think is what he said. So got to throw that 0.7 in there because raised $21,000 for 988 suicide prevention, and he still has to ride all the way home in this heat. Or are you leaving tonight when we get done so it's cooler? No.
Because in the Ozarks they have a lot of animals.
Yeah, those are animals.
And in case you don't know, motorcycles, when they hit an animal,
they stop. It's not a good thing. So he's saying there's a lot of animals out here, so he's going to wait and head back to Charlotte tomorrow.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Well, 2 days maybe.
Well, we'll see. You did get the Iron Butt Award though, didn't you?
That's
1,000 miles.
In 24 hours, and I did it in 15 hours and 30 minutes on my Harley Davidson Pan America, and it was awesome, and I will never do it again.
1,000 miles in 15 hours on his Harley Davidson Pan America. Do you get a patch? I think.
I most certainly do.
Yeah, where are you going to put it?
I'm going to put my patch on my jacket, and I'm going to frame the 3 certificates I have.
Okay.
And put them in different rooms in my house.
Perfect. And you have to get it verified like at a grocery store or a receipt, right?
You have to stop at a gas station.
Take
a picture of the odometer.
Yep.
Take a picture of you.
Yep.
And show live tracking of your entire road.
Wow.
Right. So even a lot of people say, "Oh, I've ridden 1,000 miles." To do it with the IBA, the Iron Butt Association.
And do it in less than 24 hours. Let's check out some of this hill climbing. That guy's flying, Colby.
Oh yeah, he's on.
Oh, he's taking a different path.
He's gonna make it.
He's making his own path.
It's the 50.
Oh, and then he just turned to the right.
No way!
No, he's so close.
We are not stopping there.
That ride right there is the story of my life.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah. That's the Ricky just said that's the story of his life. So close.
Well, it sounds like Ricky's going to have one of us Pan America to race next year at the Adventure Tracker Series.
Yeah, so you could sponsor us in the Adventure Track. We'll take turns in the Adventure Track. Yeah, me and him. Well, we could put Will Harris on it, too.
Well, I want to go.
You want to ride it?
Yeah, get me back out there.
I love that racing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Seeing people that I was lucky when I was in Sturgis. I got to ride on with Harley Davidson. We got to do like 100 miles of dirt roads with Jesse Janish.
Yeah, so he got to do 100 miles on his Pan America with Jesse Janish and just had some fun out in the trails.
So much fun.
And did you go on the street and the trails, or
almost all trails?
Almost all trails. And there's a lot of fire trails up there in South Dakota. Yeah, Ricky Rackman.
He was talking about the live animals on the road, and I think honestly it's probably just our producer Brad
and
the Sasquatch
and his buddies over there. Yeah.
This is Sasquatch territory.
Ooh,
Center of America. Yeah.
That's why when Brad got here, he goes, "You know what? There's something about this place that feels like."
Yeah. I told you.
I hope everybody heard that.
I was waiting to say it.
Said something that feels like home. Here he comes. He's a big old boy too. Good thing is we got a lock on this door.
Yeah.
See? So he did a little track maintenance right now.
Watching don't know that I'm not in here because these guys aren't wearing pants and I feel very uncomfortable in
He said he's not coming in here because we're not wearing pants, and he's very uncomfortable.
I don't know what he's talking about.
What'd you lean forward for?
It's hot, man.
He's got a wedding ring on. Man.
It's cool.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
Also, I want to say congratulations to Sammy Halbert. Slamming Sammy Halbert picked up his 3rd FIM flat track win in Hungary, and now he's leading the points over there.
He is killing it overseas. I love following him, and he actually lives by where I live now, and I just love seeing him do so well overseas.
Ricky said he's killing it over there. He lives in Charlotte, right by where Ricky lives, and he's just killing it at that FIM Flat Track Series.
And JD Beach, one of our fellow racers and friends, just won Superstock 1000 race at COTA today.
Moto race. Yeah, Rispoli locked up the championship in the King of the Baggers. Another flat tracker. Man.
Some of the best.
Got starting dirt.
Some of the best.
That's right. So why didn't you try to find a bike to ride? You said the track looked perfect.
Yeah, seriously, I would have loved to ride today. Today looks like a really fun track. I was talking to Trent Lowe about it for a little bit, and it's a good thing I'm in here. I'm locked in the booth.
All right, they said motorcycles are coming on the track right now. It'll be your Mission AFT Super Twins, their 2nd round of practice. They're going to do a practice start when they come out onto the racetrack, so they won't get up to full speed. And for you new fans out here, since we are at a car track, they start from a dead stop, and then when the light turns green, they drop the clutches. So now, during this practice session, is their only practice start of the evening.
Yeah, you can do one on the way to the heat race or main event lineup. At that point, you're starting to put starts on your actual clutch, your race clutch that you're going to be using. So right now is the best chance. But this is kind of such a throwaway of a practice start because you want to get out in a good spot on a short track. You don't want to be stuck behind certain riders, right?
Are we going to watch us or are we going to watch motorcycles? What do you think?
I guess. Yeah, but this one can be a good start. Probably only for Dallas Daniels, though.
All right, the General Lee Rebel horn. Somebody's honking a horn out there. Great. My dad has that on his truck. Well,
I'm not surprised.
So it probably was my dad.
No,
my dad's here.
Surprised.
Yeah, my dad's here, it sounds like. There's Dallas Daniels. He is our points leader by 13 points. Needs to finish 8th or better if Briar Bauman wins to win his first Premier Class championship and Yamaha's first in 50 years. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Since 1975, Kenny Roberts.
We try. I gave it an effort. JD Beach gave it an effort. Jake Johnson, Sammy Helbert.
There's Briar Bauman. He was fastest in the first round of practice on that Rick Ware Racing Harley Davidson. The reason he is 13 points back is he was black flagged at the last round of the Springfield Mile and was credited with 14th place.
Big shakeup in the points after that one. But never say die, right? I mean, anything can happen. This is motorcycle racing, and I am very excited for this because the word racing, Scotty. Racing, you never know what's going to happen.
And just like we saw, Dallas was actually pulled out of the way and let the 3 and the 44 go on by, but we saw Tom Drain ride a twin for the first time at Springfield on day number 2, and the bike stopped and shut off. If I was the 32, I'd be worried about that.
I had one of my bikes shut off when I was going for a championship in 2019. I had a 4-second lead in like 4 laps. I was absolutely on rails that day. Nothing was going to stop me from winning that race, and just boom, bike shuts off right there. I'm done.
All right, so I've been corrected already. So James Rispoli won the hooligans, not the baggers. That's my fault.
Yeah, it was the hooligans, Scotty.
I thought it was part of the baggers.
Not yet. That championship is not done. Right. See what's going on out here. Brandon Robinson quickest right now with Briar Bauman just behind him. It's going to be Harley Davidson 1 and 2 again. And in 3rd is Trent Lowe on the Honda. Dallas Daniels back in 5th. Briar Bauman goes to the top spot. Now all 3 of those guys, top 4, all in 17.6 range.
Track is getting a little bit faster as more rubber goes down. Also, they put some moisture on the racetrack, so a little bit of combination of both. But Briar fastest so far in the first practice session, goes a little bit faster in practice session number 2. 17.613 for the big number 3 bike.
But Scotty, I mean, Dallas Daniels 5th in this one. I believe he was 6th or 7th, potentially 5th in the first one. Kind of reminiscent, starting to look a little bit like what Lucas Oil
he
was in a way, you know.
He was struggling at the start.
It took him a while to get going, and then at the end of the night, he was, you could potentially say the fastest guy. He wasn't able to get by Briar for the win, but starting off a little bit, I mean, we're talking a tenth of a second, 10th and a half of a second, but I don't know. We'll see.
Rob McClendon is the one that texted me, let me know that I made the mistake down there. And there's so many road racing classes, I lost track.
There's so much racing today.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even keep track.
Road racing, hill climbing, there goes Dalton
Motocross, just down the road, St. Louis, just 2.5 hours up the road.
Super motocross, is that what they're calling it?
What's going on down there in St. Louis, hill climb. Speedway racing over in Europe.
Yeah. FIM flat track just finished up over in Hungary.
It's a lot.
There is a lot going on.
My buddy Scotty Taylor over there watching a whole bunch of racing today. He had 4 different screens going on at home while he's getting ready for a show tonight. But right now out there's the number 70 of Declan Bender, the 14 Logan McGrain, the 25 of Ben Lau, the 37 of Bronson Bauman, the 29 of Billy Ross, the 79 of Dalton Gautier, the 66 of Logan Eisenhard, and the 11 of Daniel Poole. It's going to be Declan Bender out in front in this one right now, leading us around. Practice session 2. Track's just starting to lay down a little bit of rubber, but it's still pretty slippery out there. You see those guys spinning their tires a lot coming off the corner there, especially the 14 of McGrain. Declan Bender trying to just get every ounce of traction he can out of that Yamaha down the front straightaway there, really being easy on the throttle, getting his weight back and foot up as quick as he can. You really see him stretching out his arms as long as he can. A little bit of a shorter rider, so he can't move back quite as far as like a guy like Dan Bromley or Bauman could, but using every ounce of what he can with that physical stature.
Right behind him is the 14 of Logan McGrain. That's the freight train out there, and
he's using that physical stature to his strength. Declan Bender up to 6th.
Well, it's because you were talking about him.
Announcers?
Yeah, there you go.
The anti-announcer curse?
Yeah, exactly. There's the 14 Logan McGrain, who is very strong at most of the short tracks this season. He is up there in the 14th spot. I'm sorry, the 9th spot for the 14 bike. So Ryan Barnes Racing, Schaefer's Motorsports KTM. Behind him is the 79. That is Dalton Gautier. He's on the Racing Unlimited Kawasaki out there, the 79 bike.
Double duty and did not get any good times in on that 450 the first session.
He's up to the, let's see, where is the 79? 8th spot so far. That gave him on the front row of a heat race. The back tire is really squatting on that 14 bike. Get some low air pressure on these short tracks.
Harley Davidson 1 and 2, both sessions, Scotty. In the Honda. The progression of that Honda since the beginning of last year when we first started seeing it a lot, man. I remember them showing up to Daytona and they had one motorcycle and Mishler was supposed to be on the back of one. They didn't have that one ready. They barely got the first one ready. Dana Brownlee went out there and I think he might have put like a top 4 lap time in. And then for them to be able to come out and win the Springfield Mile.
Incredible. Checkered flag is out. Group number 2, second round of practice for our Mission AFT Super Twins. Briar Bauman top spot. Declan goes up to 5th on that last lap.
Yeah, Bronson Bauman 7th, Dallas Daniels 6th. Gautier 9th. James Ott back there in 12th, and Maxwell back there in 14th.
Just getting it all figured out. That was our second round of qualifying. The 3 bikes so far doing what he needs to do to keep his championship hopes alive. A 17.613 for Briar Bauman. And the points leader coming in is back there in 6th right now. As we switch to Royal Enfield Build Train Race qualifying. This is their qualifying session because they did their practice yesterday. So this is how the ladies will get qualified into their heat races. Actually 1 heat race, and then they'll have 2 main events. So the ladies are coming to the track. The 2 is Michaela Nichols. The 5 is Emma Gotch. 8, Christiana Ross. 11, Taya Little. 13, Julia Hess. 22, Hannah Robertson. 28, Maya Maffei. 35 is Hannah Lang. 58, Mallory McGill. 113, Maticela Rodriguez. The 182 is Justine Marsh, and the 555, that is Shipman out there. That is Sandriana's little sister, Giovannina, right?
Correct.
She's from out there in your neck of the woods. New
Maybe.
York.
New Hampshire, maybe?
New York.
Is it?
Yeah.
I knew it was one of them.
Up there, it starts with an N, right?
Yeah.
She's Maybrook, New York. Had to look at my notes.
It's got to be closer to the city. Unfamiliar.
Did you travel at all when you were growing up? I mean, you didn't go to Canada.
Do you know every city in Oklahoma?
I know most of them.
In South Dakota?
South Dakota, there's not very many cities in South Dakota.
If I say...
Yeah, didn't you go over there and have a few...
Man, someone in turn 1.
The General Lee is here. And they are off. This is qualifying for the Build Train Race ladies.
Spread out a little bit.
I would have, but there's the 113.
I don't know. Not a bad idea, though. Get out there behind Rodriguez and try to get a throw a line to her, the backside of her.
Well, she got the win at the last round, round number 3 at Ventura. She also got a 3rd at the first round and a 4th. So she's having a good season so far. Maticela Rodriguez on the 113.
Rodriguez had that hot clutch, man. She had that thing every time. She was hole shot after hole shot. That clutch was just releasing so smooth for her.
Right behind her is the 11, Taya Little. Taya is from Welland, Ontario, Canada. She'll be going over to England next weekend to race the DTRA, having a big ladies meet over there, part of the DTRA season finale in Greenfield.
With you?
We're going to be there at the same time, yes.
There you go.
Yep, I'll be
You
calling
said first class business or?
Business first class?
Yeah,
What?
business.
I don't even know.
Luggage?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking a big suitcase. That is for sure.
No, I meant, are they putting you in luggage?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Down below?
Yeah, in the cold spot. There's the 5 moving up there, 3rd on the charts right now. Emma Gotch, 19.996. They're going a lot faster than they were earlier. About half a second faster than they were in that first round. This is qualifying, though.
Top 3 on the track is top 3 in qualifying. No, Nichols Leonetti.
Yep. Michaela moves up into that 3rd spot. There she comes. She's getting some momentum going. The 2, Kayla Nichols. She's from Longmont, Colorado, just north of Denver. They got a race next weekend up there in Greeley. Mile High Showdown.
Like the year's almost over. I feel like there's so much racing still going on.
There's a lot of racing. This is the last Progressive American Flat Track race of the season. A 2's caught the 5 in a hurry.
Taking some notes.
White flag is out. This is qualifying. Maticela still at the top spot, 19.630. That was one of her earlier laps.
Yeah, and she's doing a good job living in that 19-second range. A lot of the other girls have fallen back into that 20-second range. So for her to stay in 19s, the only other person doing that right now is Taya Little. So Rodriguez trying to make a shout at this championship.
Maticela Rodriguez, quick time out here in qualifying with the 19.630. That was the Royal Enfield Build Train Race Program. These ladies got their motorcycles in February, made them look and made them, appear how they appear right now. And then they went down to Daytona for round 1 and 2. Ventura's round number 3, and here's round 4 and 5. They will have 2 main events here today for the Royal Enfield ladies. Up next, AFT Singles presented by Kicker Class, getting ready to roll on the racetrack. Don't forget, get your raffle tickets for Back on Track. They're raffling off a brand new Arai helmet. Also, big thanks to Arai North America. Jeff Weil is here from Arai. It's good to see him at the racetrack. They'll be pulling.
Did you buy your tickets yet?
No, I haven't.
This is your last chance for the year, Scotty.
I know. I want a new Arai helmet. I need a new helmet like I need a hole in the head, but I will always take a new helmet. I want the Nikki Hayden reset. I definitely want that one. Here they come. They'll get a practice start. There are 2 groups of AFT singles. Raymond Rizzo holds the red flag, make sure they all stop. And they'll pull up and get a practice start, and then we'll get their second round of practice taken care of out here at Lake Ozark Short Track. Track looks fast right now, Colby. It looks like fun.
I'm just ready for tonight, like the main event time. That track looked really fun last year when they could actually start dicing it up. And Dallas Daniels did a really good job at taking advantage of finding a new line and kind of brought it to the front. He was quite a ways back towards the middle of the race there, and he tracked down, him and Jared Vanderkoy both tracked down Jared Meese. And honestly,
yeah,
if Vanderkoy didn't get defensive on like 2 laps to go, a lap and a half to go, Dallas probably would have thrown a shot up the inside of Meese there and maybe had a shot for him.
So Jared Meese went off into the sunset with the win. That was the last race of his career until last Saturday when he decided to try to run the mile until he broke the motorcycle. But Meese was the winner here last year in the Super Twins class. But that guy right there was the winner here 1 year ago in the AFT singles class, Tom Drain.
And that was a good battle between him and Sadoff. We've seen so many of those battles over the few years that those guys have been with us here in the professional class. But right there in third, 228 at Tadman. How is he going to develop here today?
On the First Impressions Husqvarna, so you got a Yamaha, Honda, Husky, 1, 2, and 3 on the racetrack right now. And you got Hunter Bauer coming towards the front. He's up to second on his Yamaha, 17.937. As I say that, Tadman goes to second. Now Fanders goes up to second. The 83 is on the move. I talked to him. I said, stop falling off. He said, you fell off last weekend at home at Square Deal. I'm like, you got to stop.
Get it out of the way at least, and if you're going to do it, I guess, try to make them small. But, I mean, we crashed at Springfield Mile. That's how I bent my pinky.
At Springfield Mile?
Yeah, that's how I bent my pinky. But,
Yeah, it's as we get a replay here of Tadman getting really sideways coming off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Actually catches.
Wow. That looks like fun.
Yeah, you see his right wrist too, doesn't move at all.
Just stay on
wide
it. Just keep it
open
pinned.
through.
Keep it pinned, yeah.
It's a good kid. That's a really humble kid. If you guys ever get the chance to make it out to an AFT race next year, make sure you stop by and say hi to him and the family. And I'm not sure where he's going to end up. Hopefully he's got a deal secure, because he is one of the hottest talents in the sport right now, in my opinion. I think if I was a team owner, that's who I'd want to try and lock down quickly, because he has so much just raw speed, and he's learning so fast. Like throughout at Springfield there, you know, there was times where I was critical of him looking back so much, and then for the third main event, someone must have told him.
He never looked back.
And he didn't look back once, so he's absorbing it like a sponge, Scotty.
You know, and what he was doing is looking for his teammate. You know, I mean, like they had that plan going out there.
Yeah.
Him and Chad Coates were going to try to work together and make their way to the front. So, you know, like you said, we talked about it for a little while, and then he just stopped looking back. Chad Coates was fastest in the practice. He is way back in 7th.
We're 500ths of a second right now between 1st and 5th.
Tom Drain quickest so far in this second round of practice for your AFT singles presented by Kicker Class. Here comes group number 2. They'll be led out by the 79, Dalton Gauthier, the 100, Walker Porter, 15, Justin Anselmi, 249, Skylar Sintel, 46, Reese Podorf, 132, Bronson Pierce, 43, Jacob Vandekoy, 101, Caleb Barton in the 42, that's Lightning McLean Drucker.
Scotty, we're 1/10 of a second between 1st and 8th right now.
That's
pretty crazy.
That is incredible. One rider kept on going. Looks like...
Gotta listen.
Yeah, you gotta listen to riders' meetings.
There's a reason we're motorcycle racers.
And not doing something else in an
Yeah,
office.
I guess.
Well, hopefully he stops this time. One rider decided to keep on going around.
Big P's gonna smack him with the flag like a ruler.
That was Gauthier.
See, he missed the last session, so he was just anxious to get going again. Yeah,
well, I would be too. Is he on the? Yeah, he's on the same motorcycle.
It's probably something silly.
Yeah,
let's blame Robbie Bobby.
Yeah, since he's not here.
Yeah.
He's watching at Circuit of the Americas in the press booth right now, he said.
So let's talk about this. So last year, Evan Renshaw really had his breakout ride here at Lake of the Ozarks. He got 4th place here, almost got on the podium on the bike that Walker Porter's on right now. So Evan Renshaw, rookie last year, had his breakout ride here. Does Walker Porter have that here? Walker Porter always, everyone, whenever I would talk to them, they would say he's, you know, the Alabama Slam. He's a short track specialist. Not sure if this is the kind of short track that he specializes on necessarily, but could he have the same fortune that Evan Renshaw hit here last year?
He very well could. He was 4th in that first round of practice, currently 10th with just 1 lap completed for the number 100, Walker Porter. And just as I say that, Gauthier goes to 10th, Walker Porter goes to the 11th spot.
Back in the day, racing against Dalton Gauthier on a track like this would be so difficult, man. He is so good with his throttle control and his brake control on a racetrack like this. So if he can get the bike set up how he wants, he's going to be an absolute threat here tonight. Anytime we'd come to a clay half mile or a clay short track, a big short track like this, or a really small half mile, he was one of the guys to beat.
Dalton Gauthier grew up in Pennsylvania racing on some car tracks similar to this. And maybe a little bit bigger.
Bigger than this?
Yeah, bigger tracks than this, or about the same?
About the same.
We're creating a line right around the bottom of the racetrack, and I don't know if it's going to go up the track. Maybe it's as the sun sets and the moisture comes back up. I think this is when it got racy last year. It was about main event time before that high line came in.
This is just going to be, I believe, how it is, because it is so hot out right now. I think it's still in it's 93 degrees out right now, full sun, no clouds in the sky. So it's tough to get multi-line racing on a clay track like this, because as soon as some rubber starts getting laid down, that's the fast line for now. And we saw this last year, really. It didn't come until main event time when the moisture started coming up, the sun was gone, that people started getting racy around the racetrack.
So the Super Twins went about a 10th or 2 faster in their second round of practice. The singles, Chad Coates was a 1:7.819, Tom Drain 1:7.817. So just 2 1,000ths faster between first session and second session of practice.
They are all so close right now.
That is it for our qualifying out here. Both of our AFT classes have qualified, or I'm sorry, did practice. Next time they come out, we'll be qualifying. Our Build Train Race ladies have actually ran their first round of qualifying. They will have a heat race coming up in just a little bit. Gonna put some more moisture on the racetrack. Got a couple of announcements. Anyone who has purchased their Harley Owners Group package, please make sure you get your credentials at the front gate and meet at the Briar Bowman Pit at 6 o'clock for your meet and greet to the Enfield Tour. And also a little bit later on, we'll have a face painter here for you kids that are up there. If you adults want to get your face painted, you can do that until 7 o'clock. So a couple of announcements from the track out here. And, also don't forget to stop by and get your souvenir t-shirt. They've got the American Flat Tracker Clothing Company is here. And our friends with Kicker over there, stop by and see Mad Dog with Kicker Performance Audio. They got some cool stuff or some free stuff over there, and see what the latest and greatest from Kicker is. Qualifying coming up next for our AFT classes. They'll be coming up in just a few moments. It's the final round of Progressive American Flat Track right here from Lake Ozark Short Track. Qualifying is up next.
Light Shoe has been building quality steel shoes for flat track racers since 1998. They serve the flat track community worldwide, building custom hot shoes to fit individual needs with the rider's unique style in mind. With more than 25 years of experience and a 1-year unconditional guarantee, you'll know you've made the right choice when your foot touches the ground going into turn 1. Join the Light Shoe crew. You'll be glad you did. Win every race with VP Racing. Designed specifically for moto and power sports applications, VP's wide line of race fuels, lubricants, coolants, and additives give you the power and performance you need to win every lap and every race. Check out their championship-winning products today at vpracingfuels.com.
Tom Duma Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our 10th year to Progressive American Flat Track, providing championship rings for each class in 2023. Tom Duma Fine Jewelers wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches, in all price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TDFJ.com.
Freedom on the road starts with the right coverage. That's why so many riders depend on Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Visit Progressive.com to customize your policy and get great coverage, low rates, and a quote in just 3 minutes. Royal Enfield, the oldest motorcycle manufacturer in continuous production, is proud to introduce the 2025 Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield Super Twins race team, which now features champion Johnny Lewis serving as coach to new lead rider Max Whale this year. In addition, Royal Enfield once again features a new lineup of build, train, race, all-female flat-track racers that compete on the AFT Pro Circuit this year. Royal Enfield's full lineup of retro-styled motorcycles are easy to ride at very accessible price points, all honoring 124 years of motorcycle history dating back to 1901. Check out RoyalEnfield.com to find your nearest dealer and test ride the newest models, including the Himalayan 450 and Bear 650, which are turning heads in North America.
For more than 50 years, Kicker has been rocking the planet on anything that moves. Kicker, the legacy continues.
You're made for this. Made for ungodly alarm times and not hitting snooze. You're built to build a dream, a biz, a reputation. You've got oil in your veins, even if there's a grande macchiato in that cup holder. Because a big check and a little love sit at the bottom of that pile. So you get it done smarter, safely, and ASAP. Because you're made for this. And we're made how you're made. Cat, let's do the work.
Progressive American Flat Track, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing, roars into the 2026 season with a Daytona short track doubleheader, March 5th and 6th, during the world-famous Daytona Bike Week. Witness the heart-pounding, non-stop thrills of incredible bar-banging action as the nation's top riders battle it out under the lights. Don't miss the epic season opener. 2 nights, 1 legendary track, endless thrills. The 2026 season starts here. Lock in your seats at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Welcome back to Lake Ozark Short Track. The season finale for Progressive American Flat Track is round number 16. I'm Scotty Jubler up here in the booth, and Colby Carlisle, the 2017 AFT Singles champ, is up here in the booth as well. Colby, you weren't here last year, but what do you think so far? It's going to get faster as the night goes on.
It's going to get faster, and man, they are so close right now in that singles. We've got 8 guys all in the 17.8 second range. They're all there within a couple hundredths of a second of each other. That's so cool to see, and honestly gives a little bit of vibes kind of like Daytona. Daytona's a place where we see lap times so similar like that. So what's going to happen later on tonight when the track gets a little bit more racy? But back here, hill climb, Scotty.
These guys are a different breed. They race some fire-breathing animals. Look like this guy's got knobbies on. Some of them put chains on there depending on what class it is. We don't have any idea what class it is, but they got the long swing arms, and he's shooting up there like a rocket.
That is so fast going up that hill. Let's see if he's able to keep it under control here.
Oh, the back end stepped out from him. Got the extended swing arm on there. They got that tether on there in case that bike gets away from them, kind of like what you do when you ride a quad. You know, if you come off that machine, that will pull off and it'll pull the kill button, so the bikes will stop.
You don't want that chainsaw going.
No, I don't want that chainsaw running.
No.
Yeah, he's going to try to.
Kind of look like a Ducati motor.
Oh, that guy's going to slide out. That's the easy way to come on down. He's going down there to help him out.
Yeah, man, such a tough task to get that thing turned around, get that thing back down the hill.
He just wants it out of the way so the next guy can start going up.
Yeah, sometimes that's the toughest part. I did a hill climb earlier this year, and nobody made it over the hill. So the hardest part was waiting after every rider has to clear the hill, and there was no clear path. They were stuck right in the middle, so we had to wait for him to come all the way back down. But, man, you just never know. He's pretty far up there, though, before he
yeah, just that little mistake there in the back end came out under him a little bit. But these bikes are going so fast from the second they get to that fence all the way up until about that first gate post that they have to make their way through. Way faster than those 450s where we've been watching this all day long. Just it's honestly pretty interesting to watch. I mean, it's the same thing, but, man, it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, a little different strategy. Some of them take it a little bit slower, you know, because the goal obviously is to make it over, but to win, you have to be the fastest one all the way over. So, you know, some riders are taking it easy at the start and building the momentum. Some riders just dropping the clutch and going through the gearbox as fast as they can. So,
yeah, it's kind of like that old saying, to finish first you must finish, but
definitely
you got to finish first and get the fastest lap time here.
Is that Morgan Mishler?
It could be. Why he's not here today.
Yeah, the 13 pulling up there. Extended swing arm on that. Looks like a KTM. So they back it up, and I'm sure when they get going, they cross a light beam that starts to clock, and then at the very top is where they get the other one. So he's going all the way back against the back of that.
I'm pretty sure that's actually like a Kawasaki motocross chassis cut up, an older Kawasaki, like an old one.
Man, did you see that?
Early thousands, get that thing started up.
Yep, the exhaust coming right there by his foot. He's pumping himself up a little bit. And there he goes. Oh, look at the roost flying. Man, he is hauling the mail.
He's going so fast right there in the middle. Let's see if he's able to make it by.
Gate number 2. Here comes gate number 3. He's got a good run going. Now he's going to try to go to the right. I think that was the fastest way earlier. And now a little switch back to the right, a little short shoot. Up, 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 and over.
Mishler made it look easy.
Oh, the cameraman's going to get roosted. That's a full pull right there. That's what they say in tractor pulls.
I would love to have that feeling between where they come out of the fence there up to that first section. They're going so fast.
Look at that thing. Look at that old gas tank. That looks like an old Yamaha TY80 or TY125 gas tank or something.
It's not a beauty pageant, Scotty. I'll tell you that for sure.
No, because they're going to – most of the time they hit the ground and then tumble down to the ground.
I wish we had a little audio here because that thing is probably ear –
well, what does it sound like, Colby? Tell me what it sounds like.
I'll blow eardrums out. It's too loud. Look how that exhaust is.
The exhaust is bigger than
18 inches long.
It's bigger than the exhaust of my car.
Yeah, this part from here to about right here, I'd like to get that feeling.
Wide open.
But I want nothing to do with the rest of this section as he gets through 2. We don't have the run the last guy had, but I think he might have it still.
He's running out of momentum.
Oh,
man.
Almost a flying W.
Again, here comes the hardest part, trying to get back down.
Yeah, should have made it at its top.
Yep.
Make your life easy.
I know the one I was doing, they had people hanging. They had like a harness around they're staying on the hill. They had these harnesses. They were harnessed into the hill. And so when the bikes were coming, they would try to throw a hook and get the hook to wrap around the front wheel or the fork tube to stop the bikes from going all the way back down.
I thought he had it right here up until he must have caught something right here, and he hits it in right flying W. Oh, yeah, a little half flying W.
Yeah, up and out of the saddle.
Almost gave the people what they wanted.
What do they want? They want to see him come all the way back down?
They want action, Scotty. They want action.
Well, I've already decided I don't want to be one of the guys wearing the pink shirts because they look like they got the hardest job.
Yeah, I like our job right here. Thousands and thousands of miles away.
You been to Idaho?
Probably been through Idaho.
On the way to Castle Rock. Yeah.
Yep.
That was not a good trip for you either.
No, that wasn't.
Collarbone?
Yeah. No, Dad was mad.
Oh, I know. We stayed beside each other.
Dad wasn't happy about that one.
For a week or so.
Yeah, I've been to Idaho. We took a family trip out through there. Went to Yellowstone, out in one of those states, and beautiful part of the country. Caribou.
Look at this big Yamaha number 197. Got the stretched out swing arm. I guess they got the front brake on there for the way back down, huh?
Look at that sprocket. No rear brake either. Don't need that. Sprocket's probably like a 67 tooth.
Big rear sprocket. So as that hill gets cleared up, they got to wait until that guy gets out of the way before they send up the next one.
Kind of looks like we got Jet Lawrence over there on the right side of the screen. Got the number 1, Jet Lawrence's gear on. Thought he was busy in St. Louis, but taking a trip up the hill today.
Yeah, might as well.
We got to get that thing off the mountain.
Is that a mountain or a hill? Looks like a mountain.
What's the difference?
The height, how big they are.
Yeah. Is there a set point?
I don't know. You went to college. I didn't.
I
went to college for a while.
You've been talking about topographical maps all morning.
That's what you've been talking about all morning, all day.
I had to when I was in 6th grade, we took earth science. 8th grade, we took earth science or something like that, and I was always gone racing, always. So my buddy Cody, he's really smart. He's genius. He would do all our work, and I would just copy him, and that's how I passed.
Oh, okay. So you're not the genius, is what you're saying?
No, not for that.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why I don't know the difference between a hill and a mountain. But I was able to come racing, Scotty.
I think 197 is ready to go.
It's Justin Jones.
He's got
like you said earlier.
Yeah, that's what I think so. And he doesn't like pork chop no more. That's it. That's gone.
No, he's
T-bone.
the bullet train.
The bullet train. Look at that roost. Man, he is
fast.
Smoking right now. 197's on the move. What does it sound like, Colby?
I think the key.
Is that what it sounds like, Ricky?
Oh, we got to keep it going.
He's run out of momentum.
He's chugging.
Oh,
we're good.
Oh.
See?
Oh,
it's just that easy.
Oh no! Did he? I wonder if he broke the time. There's beams up there. He's at the very top.
I think he's looking around, seeing if anyone saw that. Well, he kind of did.
Yeah, I don't know where
we'll pass it off though.
I think he has to make it past the laser beams or the light beams up there.
His feet can't touch, right?
Well, you can dabble your feet. You just cannot stop or come completely off the motorcycle. So he could have dabbed his feet to make it all the way over, but he's at the very edge. Number 1 on the back is getting ready to go here pretty soon.
That's what I want to see. And that's a good-looking motorcycle, too.
Yeah. Oh, it's a hill climb.
It's not called mountain climbing.
That's right. Yeah, Ricky Rackman's Captain Obvious over here. It's a hill climb. It's not mountain climbing.
That is a good point. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
They're not called mountain climbing. All right. So while we Ricky, you're supposed to go the other side of the truck, is what Brad just said. Yeah, he said, get away from me. Up next, it's time for some qualifying out here back at Lake Ozark Short Track. Mission AFT Super Twins, it's qualifying. Transponders on each of the motorcycles on their fork tubes. This is how they get qualified into their heat races. What's the difference between a hill and a mountain?
Perception. There's no, set difference.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's all about how you perceive it.
So we can call it whatever we want.
Yeah, there's no, set minimum height. So that could be a mountain.
I just thought a mountain was bigger than a hill. So.
I could have a mountain in my backyard if I want to, Scotty.
Not anymore. You just got married.
That was good. That was funny.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was a good one.
All right. Should be the 32 of Dallas Daniels. Should be Mission AFT Super Twins qualifying. Nope, no him.
That was a marriage joke.
I got him.
That was a marriage joke.
Here comes the 32, Dallas Daniels. It is qualifying time for the Mission AFT Super Twins. And Raymond Rizzo says, get it going. Waves the yellow flag around the circle.
He was there at my wedding.
And he did. He performed the wedding, correct? He officiated.
Yeah,
that's what you call it.
Yeah.
You know, I've done 4.
You did?
I've officiated 4 weddings, including Jared Meese. On the front straightaway.
Very public
at
one.
The Springfield
He did that
Mile.
because that was cheap. That was free. That was a smart move.
He may have tipped me a little bit.
Okay, well. He saved a lot on the event.
Yeah, because I was there.
Yeah. All right, let's see what Dallas Daniels can do. Briar Bauman giving a big space between the two of them. Briar's been fastest in both sessions so far.
Bike going up the racetrack just a little bit. That's the Harley Davidson number 3. Look at the other Harley Davidson in the top spot. Brandon Robinson. That's the fastest lap of the day so far.
Well, we did do a little bit of track work there while we were watching some hill climbs going on, so that's what we want to see in the sun. It is now 4 o'clock, so it is starting to cool off just a little bit. It says 76, Scotty. I don't know.
I don't know where that computer's home base
that
is.
That can't be 76 here because it is like 93 out.
Maybe 76 in here today. 44, Brandon Robinson was the top spot. Now goes to 3. Briar Bauman, the fastest lap of the day, 17.471 for the big number 3 bike.
Let's go back there to the 67 and Davis Fisher. I was talking to him earlier on, and he said that, I said, these season finales have treated you well in the past, getting that win there at Charlotte in 2021. Up to 4th now. Davis Fisher had some struggles on the KTM throughout the year, but tonight could be a good night for him.
Talked about him on my podcast, and he was kind of like my little, I wouldn't say dark horse, but he was like my other rider to get up there and get in the win, get a win.
And he's getting ready to get married here in a couple weeks too.
That is the bachelorette party was last night in Nashville, it looked like.
Yeah.
We didn't get invited, did you?
No, that was not for us, guys.
Oh, I didn't know.
Dave's looking down, checking out something.
That's not good. Bauman still at the top spot. This is qualifying, round number 1. There's the checkered flag, and Davis is still looking down. Look at that, Trent Lowe jumps into second on that last lap. 1:7.480 for the big red Honda.
All of these guys so close in lap times right now.
1:7.471 for Briar Bauman. That was the fastest lap of the day so far. Like we said just a moment ago, I think the track will continue to get faster as the night progresses.
9 thousandths between Briar and Trent, and then within a tenth they're back to 4th place. They're so close.
Fisher gets up to 4th. Ott is 5th on the G&G Yamaha. Maxwell on the Royal Enfield. Dan Bromley, Suzuki, Vanderkoy. Dallas Daniels is in 9th, but only 3/10 off of Briar.
3/10 is a bigger gap with how close all these guys are in the front. You don't typically see them this tight in lap times on a bigger short track like this at Daytona, where everything's so small and it's such a lockdown in times. I'm guessing it's starting to kind of get that way out here, where it's just really only one option to get around the racetrack. I'll have to watch a little bit closer. I haven't really been watching rear wheels, but I'm just guessing that it's starting to get locked down out there, and it's honestly, in a way, almost easy to do.
Locked down, meaning like road race, where they got plenty of traction right now?
Plenty of traction, because when you get this many guys this close in lap times, that's typically what it means, is that it's just, you can really turn the gas on almost as hard as you want, and you can get traction and drive forward. The lap times are just all so close right now that it's a little bit uncharacteristic.
You want to keep the wheels in line, or do you want to slide it into the corner a little bit?
You want to keep them in line as much as you can. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there's even a little bit of chirping on the back tires coming in right now.
Well, the bikes are skittering into the corner.
Yeah,
I
you
use
can
the
see
Chris
a lot
Carr
of
word right there.
Yeah, you can see a lot of grip there coming in. McGrain's back wheel just hopping ever so slightly coming into the corner.
Looks a little different going into 1 than it does into 3.
There's so much rubber down on the track right now, and you see McGrain there getting the front wheel lifted up. I do believe we've got a good bit of grip out there. Look at 5th, Eisenhard.
That's on the Weerbach Racing Kawasaki. So we got Harley, Honda, Harley Davidson, KTM, and now Kawasaki in the first Yamahas. James Ott in 6th. That's a good run for Eisenhard.
Track's got a lot of grip right now, Scotty.
There's the 37 Bronson Bauman. Mike Butler Racing Yamaha.
Yeah, got by Ben Lau on that last lap. Let's see if he's able to do anything.
As they run, if this was the main event, Briar would be the champ, because Dallas is way back in 11th.
Yeah, 8th place is the number tonight. 7th for Dallas, 8th for Briar. That's how it needs to finish, basically. If Briar gets win and Dallas 8th, Briar will be the champion. If Dallas gets 7th or better, Dallas will be the champion. But we've seen this multiple times this year, Scotty, with Briar and Dallas. Both in the beginning of the year, Briar was struggling early on in the days. Lately, he's been strong all the time. But Dallas, we've seen him struggle early on in the days. He figures it out later on.
You think Briar was doing that because he was on a new motorcycle? What we just see, Bronson moves into 5th.
And that's a guy that can help Briar tonight.
If he can get in between himself and Dallas, exactly. So that's first round of qualifying in the books for your Mission AFT Super Twins. Briar Bauman at the top spot, 1:7.471. Trent Lowe 2nd. Brandon Robinson 3rd. Fisher is 4th. Here they come. Logan Eisenhard up there 6th. James Ott is 7th. Maxwell's 8th. Declan Bender is 9th. And Dan Bromley on that Suzuki up there in that 10th spot.
Scotty.
Yes.
If the track doesn't get faster, that's going to put Dallas Daniels on the back row
of the heat race.
Yep.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's just an obstacle. I mean, a guy like that can overcome something like that, but it's just something to note.
Good point. Here comes the ladies out here. Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. The 5, Emma Gotch will lead them out. The 11, Taya Little. 113, Maticela Rodriguez. 28, Maya Maffei. 58, Mallory McGill. The 2 is Michaela Nichols. The 8, Christiana Ross. The 22 is Hannah Robertson. 555, Giovanina Shipman. The 35, Hannah Lang from Wisconsin. The 182, Justine Marsh, also from Wisconsin. The 13, that is Julia Hess. Those are the ladies on the racetrack. This is their final round of qualifying. Next time we'll see them will be their heat race.
And then 2 main events coming up.
That's exciting. A good track for the ladies, I think. This is a very good track for the Royal Enfields. They're all on the INT 650 motorcycles. It's a 2-year program, too, so some of the riders you may have seen here last year aren't here today. I like the bright yellow leathers.
Yeah, it's a good racetrack here. There's no lack of grip right now with how much rubber's down. It's pretty smooth for the most part. it gives them a good racing surface to be able to practice on, and we do see a faster lap time.
19.857 for Taya Little, 19.8. So a little bit off of the first round of qualifying. So our fast time overall is the 1:13. Maticela Rodriguez, she's third quick in this one.
Let's see if she's able to pick it up and get back by her lap time. Going up the racetrack, trying to get by another rider, the 182 of Justine Marsh. Here she goes. Now she'll have an open track for this lap.
Justine on the 182. I like the purple as well. There goes Maticela on the 113 bike. She's got the gold rims on there. Some of the other bikes in that Super Twins class have the gold rims. When I see those, I always think of Mike Hacker. He always had gold wheels on his number 67.
Super Trap machine.
Yep. Yep, Super Trackers.
I used to want to get Super Trap discs on my exhaust so bad. I thought it was so cool. I didn't know what they did for me.
Just makes it sound different.
Yeah.
Depends on how many discs you put in there as well. We didn't hear the horn this whole session.
The dude must have left.
Oh, I doubt that.
He repositioned to a better spot.
Or the horn got repossessed.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. The girls are a little bit off the pace. I would have expected them to go just a smidge faster with the more rubber on the racetrack. I mean, there is a defined blue groove around the entire racetrack right now, which the blue groove is just from rubber. These Dunlop tires burning it down into the racetrack. Sometimes it can give it more grip, sometimes less. I'm looking like today that it is giving it a lot more grip.
Checkered flag is out right there. Taya Little, fastest in qualifying, round number 2, 19.857, the only lady in the 19-second range. Emma Gotch, second. Maticela Rodriguez. Giovannina Shipman is fourth. Maya Maffei is fifth. Mallory McGill, Michaela Nichols, Christiana Ross, Hannah Lang, and Justine Marsh rounding out your top 10. That was their final round of qualifying. Next time we see the ladies will be their heat race. Up next, your AFT singles presented by Kicker Class. It'll be time for their first round of qualifying. Up next, we do have an open fan party going on from 5 until 7 o'clock. Opening ceremonies this evening at 7 p.m. If you're watching at home on Flow, that is Central Time Zone is where we're at, right here in the middle of Missouri. Here comes our single-cylinder motorcycles out there. AFT singles presented by Kicker Class. Drain is already up to full song on the front straightaway.
Tom Drain looking to top off an amazing season, getting his first singles championship.
And if he wins today, he'll be his 8th win of the season, which is tying a record for the most wins of the season, 8 out of 16. That means half of the main events were won by that 59 bike.
It's better than my batting average this week at softball.
I was going to say, how was the softball Thursday night?
Not great.
You didn't get sunburned.
We got a lot of work to do as a team.
You didn't get sunburned. Was it nighttime?
I wasn't on the field much.
Were you a bencher? Are you a bench warmer? Are you the coach?
No, we just were bad.
Oh, so you're always...
I was the coach. I was a tough coach. We'll talk about something better, like Trevor Brewer out there right now, or Tom Drain immediately going back to the top of the boards.
How about Fanders moving up to second on the 83 bike? As I say that, here comes Hunter Bauer, moves into second.
See how many of these guys we get all in that range, in the 17.6 range here. That's where Tom Drain sat in the post.
Drain at the top spot. Bowers in second. Fanders in third. Tadman goes up to fourth, and Bruner's in fifth. I figured this would be a good track for Trevor Bruner since he won at Lucas Oil. Very similar racetrack.
Canadian to the top of the board. What? Hunter Bauer, 17.624.
Wow.
Man, he had a good run going at Springfield, and then talked to his dad, and his mile bike popped.
So he had to run half-mile bike, I think, right?
And he hopped on Justin Jones's bike, but his mile bike was a runner, and he was doing a phenomenal job just that Springfield mile.
Did we give the jinx to the 49er Chad Coase? He's back there in 8th. He's fast in practice.
I don't know.
He played the 5th.
I don't know.
Fanders goes back into 3rd. Bruner goes to 4th. Bruce Evans up there from Southern Illinois is in 5th.
Back in your day, Scotty.
Yes.
Did you do qualifying like this?
No, we
There's
actually
one lap?
I never did the one lap stuff either. We had scratch sheets.
Oh, so you just practice and then go
We did
race?
practice, and we had some scratch sheets, and they take so many out of the scratch sheets into the night program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like 6 on a row, or how many were in the...
Yeah, 6 on a row.
Okay.
They probably did like
a couple rows?
6 scratch sheets. No, I think just one row of the scratch sheets. Yeah,
Oh,
everybody got to start on the front row of a scratch sheet.
Yeah, qualifying can be
way
tough.
back.
Like, qualifying here today could absolutely be a mental struggle, because you could put on a lap that you think's amazing. Like, say, Chad Coase could have had a burner of a lap time in his head, and he's going to come off and see a 17.9 and be in, right now, last place, 9th place as it sits. We have another group to go. But Chad could think, oh, I just did a smoker of a lap. Look at his phone and be like, what just happened? I mean, that's happened to me many times in my career.
Well, especially depending on the guys that you're riding out there with, who's in front of you, who's behind you, and, the guys you're riding with, if they're going the same speed, it's hard to know if you're going faster or not.
Yeah, and Tom Drain said it doesn't matter because I'm going to drop down to a 17.484.
That is the fastest singles lap of the day, and it's almost faster than twins. Briar Bauman 17.471. Group number 2, AFT singles on the racetrack. 79 is Gautier, the 100 Walker Porter. 15, Justin Anselmi from Lodi, California. 249, Skylar Sintel from Michigan. 46, Reese Potter from Kansas. 132, Bronson Pierce from the Pacific Northwest, California guy. 43, Jacob Vandequay from Ohio. 101, Caleb Martin from Ohio. And the 42 is McLean Drucker from Illinois. Now, question my 132. Bronson Pierce from Bakersfield, California. I said Pacific Northwest. That's my fault. There's Walker Porter.
I said Pacific.
Yeah. Pacific Ocean.
Right,
over
ocean
there.
Side.
Bakersfield, how close that is to the ocean.
Split it in the Mississippi.
That's on the west side of Mississippi. Always looking for a positive.
This track, I'm very interested to see how it's going to develop throughout the night. This is truly pretty standard what we see on these car tracks during the day, right? It always gets about this 8 to 10 foot blue groove. You really ride on this very similar part. All the lap times get pretty similar because it kind of gets a bunch of rubber down. That's a good pass right there by Gautier up the inside of Anselmi.
But he drifted a little bit wide, opened the door right back up.
Yeah, but hopefully Anselmi doesn't go back by him here. That was a smart move. If I was Anselmi, I would have just tugged in line, not mess up Gautier's qualifying session, and you can learn.
There's 249. Skylar Sintel was coasting down the back straightaway. It looks like he's got his bike fired up, and he'll jump back in there. He's right now 18th, doesn't have a lap in this session, so he needs to get a lap in.
Yeah, I expect Gautier to drop a little bit of lap times now. Maybe this time he's had a full, clean lap from Anselmi. Anselmi needs the best he can to try to watch Gautier, but the things that Gautier does really well on these racetracks is body positioning. He's so smooth and slow with everything he does where, some of these guys will start to really move their bodies quickly and just try to jerk a little bit around on the motorcycle where you just need to be really smooth with your right wrist on the throttle.
Sometimes the second group is a little bit faster than the first group, but that hasn't been the case so far here today. White flag is out. One more lap to go. There's Skylar Sintel, the 249, currently 16th in this session, 18.395. He's a Michigan rider. He likes the cushions a little bit better than the group racetracks.
Kind of surprised with Dalton Gautier right now. I would have thought he would have picked up the pace.
Remember, he was looking down earlier on that 79 bike, so maybe something's just not right yet. As he said that, moved into 10th.
A little bit better.
Skylar Sintel, the 249, has moved into 13th. Had a problem on the first lap or two.
And Dalton could be falling into that trap where he thinks he's going really fast, and he's just the times aren't where he thinks they are.
Especially when you can catch somebody and pass somebody, you definitely think you're going fast as the water truck comes back out. So that's it for our first round of qualifying for the AFT classes and our second round of qualifying for the Royal Enfield ladies. Looks like all the bikes are going over there to get weighed after this round. So qualifying round number 1, Tom Drain, the top spot, 17.484. He is already your 2025 AFT singles champ, the first rider not born in the United States to win a championship in American Flat Track. 24, Hunter Bauer second. 21, Trevor Bruner is third. Braden Fanders up there fourth. Aiden Rusev in fifth. Santero, Jared Lowe, Podor. Good run for Reese Bodorf in 8th, Cage Chapman and Dalton Gautier. That's your top 10 after our first round of qualifying. One more round of qualifying for both the AFT classes. And then when the Royal Enfields come out next, it'll be their qualifying heat race already today. There's a lot of bikes in the area. Hopefully everybody's having a great bike week out there and enjoying the weather. It's beautiful. Also, just again, a reminder, if you purchased your Harley Owners Group package, please make sure you get your credentials at the front gate and meet Briar Bowman at the pit at 6 o'clock for your meet and greet and infield tour. So you got an hour and a half left to do that. Also, a little bit later on, for the kids that are just showing up, you can get your face painted until 7 o'clock. So a couple extra features out here at the Lake Ozark Short Track. The final round, Progressive American Flat Track. So qualifying so far, practice in Super Twins, practice in qualifying so far. Colby, it's the 3-bike, Briar Bauman on that Harley Davidson.
The Harley's been good here today, and Briar Bauman doing everything he can do to try to make this happen tonight.
Meaning win that championship.
Exactly, yeah.
He finished 5th here last year, but he was on a KTM. Different ball game here tonight on the Harley.
Absolutely, yeah. In a different position going in last year, no championship shot. This year, had an amazing shot going into Springfield, points leader. Had the black flag go there, starting off on the right tone today. Dallas Daniels starting off on the back foot right now. Estenson team has so much, though, in their back pocket. They're going to flip this thing around. We've seen it so many times happen here lately. And, even at Springfield, we saw it happen.
We got a new old friend back with us today. Kristen Beat is studying. That means we're bringing the backup. Ricky Rackman, welcome back to American Flat Track.
I'll tell you, Scotty, it truly is so great to be back here. I love the sport. I like working with you guys. Don't love working, but like working with you guys and to work with Colby. And it's just great to be back at AFT. I love this sport, and it's so fun to see all the people in the garage and in the pits. And, it's just great to be back here. And I've never been to the Lake Ozark track before, so this is the first time for me.
And you rode your Harley-Davidson here from Charlotte, got a few more miles in Ricky's ride, raising money to prevent suicide.
Raising money for the 988 Suicide Prevention Hotline that anybody can call at any given time if they're having a crisis. And so far, I've ridden 14,500 miles, and when they asked me to come here, I go, well, that's only 900 miles away from North Carolina. So I rode here. And the one thing that you guys can't see right now is how hot it is right now. People in the stands, they know. Scotty and Colby, no, it's like, ooh, it might get as high as 65 in there, but it's hot today. And I can't imagine. Colby, what does it feel like to be a rider in this heat?
Well, I'm glad I don't know today. We got scolded after Peoria because we kept talking about how hot it was, and it was about 65 in here. But, yeah, on a day like today, you're doing everything you can just to try to keep as cool as you can. Cold towels around the neck. It's just so hot when you're in that leather racing suit, Ricky.
Yeah, I can tell. Nobody offered me any cold towels, but still, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be at this bike week because I rode to Sturgis, I rode to Daytona, and since I rode here, that's 3 bike weeks that I rode to this season. So I am very proud of that.
Well, I'm glad you're wearing black clothes because, that's the smartest thing you could do.
Yeah, I always wear pants normally, but today I put on shorts.
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm standing out here, because you and your shorts. No offense.
Well, these legs are very untanned.
They're very white.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, Ricky, are you excited to be back on the podium for opening ceremonies? I think that's one of my favorite things when you come. You have a blast when you're down there on that podium.
I have a blast during opening ceremonies. And let's be honest, it's pretty cool to be on the podium at the very last race. We already know who one of the champions is, but despite what anybody thinks, we don't know who's going to be the champion in the Super Twins. As I found in the few years that I've worked in this sport, truly anything can happen, and this is the last race. So they're not writing the names on the Super Twins trophy yet. We got a lot more stuff to go on today.
And we also have, the Royal Enfields are here with us, too, racing. The ladies are racing with us, and man, they've got some great competition all year long, too.
I've been a fan of the BTR series as well, and last time I was here, it was all new riders, so I'm going to see what the ladies are like out there on the track today.
Wow. Sounds like a lot of fun to me. Thanks, Ricky. I appreciate it. Welcome back to American Flat Track, and we're going to have another round of qualifying coming up, and then when the ladies come back out the Royal Enfields, it will be their qualifying heat race.
Sounds great.
And just thinking about anything can happen, let's look back at the 2021 Charlotte Half Mile because anything definitely can happen and did happen. We'll take a look at this right here. Again, 2021, Meese had a 4-point lead going into it. He's running third. Sammy, second. And then there goes a rider down, and right here in front of him, there goes the 6'9", catapulted him out of the picture and up to the moon. So first was 25 points back then. Second was 20. Third was 17. All Briar had to do was win the championship, was to win his third championship. And anything can happen. We just saw it right there. That's not what we want to see, but anything can happen. Yes, exactly.
Glad they didn't show my highlight from earlier on in that night.
Is that a highlight? Or is that a low light?
It's something. It was a backwards leg kind of light.
That was in going into turn 1?
No, it was the exact same thing. I did the exact same thing that Briar did.
You showed him how to do it?
I was too far in the back for him to see that. But, seriously, anything can happen, right? This is motorcycle racing, and yeah, I know Briar's mentioned, he's being a realist about this, and you are coming in at a deficit, but the word racing, just nothing, you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. We're going to take a break. When we come back, round number 2 of qualifying up next here at Lake Ozark Short Track.
Before the celebration, before the victory lap, before every turn, every jump, and close call, machines and equipment from the Cat Rental Store build the track where the action unfolds. And because your race day means so much to us, we want you to be the first to know what's next. More locations, fresh look, expanded fleet, better coverage. Get ready for the Cat Rental Store's new start.
We're going full throttle with Mission Foods. There's no holding back American flat track when you combine the fiercest dirt track riders and tastiest products. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Check us out on the web at backontrack.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life. Kicker Performance Audio is your fuel for living loud and a proud supporter of American Flat Track, the original extreme sport. 50 years and counting, Kicker has been the world leader in audio gear for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and America's roads. Kicker Audio is living loud. Hey race fans, are you looking to take your welding skills to the next level? Trust Lincoln Electric, a leader in welding solutions for over a century. From top-notch equipment to innovative technology, Lincoln Electric powers your projects with unmatched reliability and performance. Elevate your craft with Lincoln Electric, where quality meets innovation. Visit LincolnElectric.com today. For over a decade, Dunlop has supported all progressive American flat track classes with their premier flat track tires. Designed for professional and amateur riders alike, Dunlop's DT4 has an aggressive tread pattern, is available in multiple tread compounds, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of progressive American flat track. Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help take your race day to the finish line. Now that's too fast, too tasty. Racing is all about performance, speed, precision, and pushing the limits. Aeroflex brings that same mindset to liquid packaging with a design that's lighter, tougher, and better for the planet. Simply tear the tab, squeeze, and experience a better way to package liquids. Progressive American Flat Track, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing, roars into the 2026 season with a Daytona short track doubleheader, March 5th and 6th, during the world-famous Daytona Bike Week. Witness the heart-pounding, non-stop thrills of incredible bar-banging action as the nation's top riders battle it out under the lights. Don't miss the epic season opener. 2 nights, 1 legendary track, endless thrills. The 2026 season starts here. Lock in your seats at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
And welcome back to the Lake Ozark Short Track, the final round of the 2025 Progressive American Flat Track Series, round number 16. Up next, qualifying round number 2, Mission AFT Super Twins are up next. Can anybody go faster than the 3-bike of Briar Bauman? Colby, what are your thoughts?
I think he's got a very good chance at it. They put a little bit of water down. The track's been speeding up. It's got a very dark groove around it, but right now Harley-Davidson has been in control of this one, specifically the 3 of Briar Bauman.
And the 44, he is one of the other gentlemen that have won so far in this season. Only 4 different winners in the Super Twins class this year.
And Brandon Robinson's locked up 3rd place in the championship. He has nothing to lose tonight, Scotty.
He's going to go for it. He's going to send it.
As we're coming on the track.
Bikes are rolling on. Final round of qualifying for your Mission AFT Super Twins. Dallas Daniels pulls out of the way, lets the 3-bike go on by. Here comes Briar Bauman, looking for his 3rd Mission Super Twins championship. Dallas Daniels looking for his 1st. What are you looking at, Colby?
Just looking at the racetrack.
You want to be out there, don't you? I can tell. I can tell.
I would have a good time today out there, I think. On a Harley-Davidson, I love to ride. I used to own one of those. It was a very fun bike to ride.
Who owns that one?
A guy named Kevin McKee up in Northern California.
What's he doing with it?
Sitting there.
Just on display?
I told him, I said one day when I get a little bit more money, I'm going to buy it back from you. It's kind of just sitting there for now. So hopefully one day when he's ready to sell it, I've got the money to. He said I could ride it. He said if I ever want to ride it, I can come up and ride it.
That's incredible. Also got a report in from Dennis Mahan. Dennis worked for K&N. He said there's a little different. Hills are generally smaller with rounded tops and less steep slopes, while mountains are taller, often with steep slopes and defined peaks. So that's people tuning in, watching us here on FloRacing.
Briar Bauman to the top. 17.382. That's fastest lap time of the day, right, Scotty?
It definitely is on any class. Briar Bauman at the top spot. Here comes Robinson, the 44, on the screen right now. He's got help this week from the Harley shop just down the road.
Davis Fisher, Trent Lowe back. Davis Fisher was in 3rd momentarily, goes back to 5th. Dallas Daniels 4th, Trent Lowe 3rd. Everyone's swapping around.
Trent's backing it up on that Honda. Got his first win at the Springfield Mile, but he comes to the short track and is backing it up pretty good so far. There's Dallas Daniels, the 32 bike. He's up to 4th this time. He's going a little bit better than he was in that last round of qualifying.
Dallas trailing Trent around the racetrack. Getting on the gas there, getting the weight to the back. White flag already, Scotty. We are ripping through this one quick. Dallas Daniels, though, has figured it out quite a bit. He's a lot closer to the front guys than he was. But Briar Bauman's still 17.382.
Checkered flag coming out, and second round of qualifying. Briar Bauman backs it up, but he goes a little bit faster. 17.378. Colby, the track is kind of narrow. It's getting a little bit wider. Colby, is that going to help the 3-bike more or the 32 bike?
I think it could help. I think either way. I really think it just depends how qualifying goes. Dallas is going to have a better lap time now, so unless something crazy happens with his second group, he's going to have that front row starting spot, I would assume, and those Yamahas get really, really good starts. I don't think we're going to see a single line racetrack there tonight. I do think maybe in the heat races it might look something similar to this, but I always think that come main event time it's going to be widened up.
There's one line really low off of turn number 4 with somebody just trying something.
Yeah, there's nothing down there. It's just you got to be on the rubber right now. There's so much of that Dunlop rubber baked into the clay right now. I mean, there's so much grip out there from what it looks like up here. I might go talk to a rider and they might say I'm full of nonsense, but
somebody's got to.
Call it like you see it, right?
Exactly.
That's what we do.
That's what our job is. Group 2, Mission AFT Super Twins, final round of qualifying. Top 8 will be guaranteeing themselves a spot on the front row. After the overall times are combined from round 1 and round number 2, there's Declan Bender, the OTB team. McGrain on the KTM number 14. Right behind him is Ben Lau, the Holly Hot Rod. He's riding a Yamaha here today. That's probably his own motorcycle.
There's so much grip out there, Scotty. I'm doubling down on that. You can just see Logan McGrain, he'll just go give it all the gas it wants right there, and it's not breaking loose at all. The only time it breaks loose is when his front wheel comes up and then goes back down.
There's Ben Lau right there, the 25 Yamaha, doing for Rackley Racing. Helped develop the bikes that the 67 Davis Fisher rides. Fisher 5th in this second round of qualifying. There's Bronson Bauman, the 37.
Brunson Bauman up to 7th in this session.
Should be a good track for that 37 Yamaha.
I would think so, yeah. I think it's good to see Bronson out here ride as much as he can with us in the races that are closer to. He's got a big boy job like me now.
A job ain't nothing but work, they say. Right?
It's not. This isn't work. We love doing this, but what we do Monday to Friday is definitely work.
Definitely a little different. Bronson goes to 6th.
Yeah. Harley, Honda, 3 Yamahas. First KTM's back in 7th.
29, Billy Ross. 79, Dalton Gautier. Gautier's back there 13th. Billy Ross said he raced this bike one time in a local race up in Michigan, just kind of shaking the cobwebs off this bike. It's his own personal motorcycle. White flag is out. Final round of qualifying for your Mission AMT Super Twins.
Gautier trying to find some comfort out there on that bike. That bike's done so well on the big racetracks, so a lot smaller here. Let's see if he's going to be able to find something to make him feel comfortable back sitting there.
He goes up to 9th, just as you say that. Not bad. There you can hear the tires scrubbing as they go in the corner. When there's one bike like that by itself, you can definitely hear the tires squawking as they go into the corners.
And Scotty, that might be a point to note. With all this grip, the grip's been coming more and more each session. Dallas Daniels moving faster each session.
Yep.
The Yamaha's liking the grip.
Briar Bauman's second or fastest in every session, both practice session, both qualifying session. Fastest lap was just there, 17.378. Robinson, Trent Lowe, Declan Bender, Dallas Daniels second in the points. Points leaders up there in 5th. Bronson's in 6th. Fisher, Ott, Gautier, and Logan Eisenhart. Up next is the Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. This will be their heat race. It's time for our first race of the day. The Royal Enfields will come out next. It is a 6-lap heat race, so it's already time for our first heat race of the day, Colby.
It's time to get this going. These girls have been waiting a long time to get back out here since Ventura.
The good thing is they got to do some practicing yesterday, make sure those bikes are ready, make sure the ladies are ready. Here they come. On the pole is the 113, Maticela Rodriguez. Starting second is the 11 of Taya Little. The 2, Michaela Nichols. And the 5 is Emma Gotch. That is your front row. The second row, 28, Maya Maffei. Giovannina Shipman is on the 555. 58, Mallory McGill. The 8, Christiana Ross. Row number 3, 35, Hannah Lang. 182, Justine Marsh. Here they come. The ladies of the Royal Enfield Build, Train, Race program. Pulling up again. This is their qualifying heat race. Are you ready?
I'm excited. Got a championship to figure out between these women here tonight.
Again, this is their 4th round. They raced both rounds at Daytona. They raced Ventura. They're having their 4th and 5th round here today. It's a 2-year program. I love it.
You think Maticela Rodriguez is going to be able to pick up where she left off with those hole shots?
I don't know. She's starting way down there on the inside. I don't know how loose it is down there. I kind of like where the 11 bike looks like it's a little bit better launching spot.
Almost all the hole shots came from that 3rd spot.
Last year?
Where the number 2 is right now. Yep,
last year, right?
Events. Exactly, yeah.
Okay. So it's our first heat race of the day. It's the ladies from the Royal Enfield Build a Train Race program. We haven't seen them since early on in the season. Big P shows them 6 laps the distance. We'll watch the Christmas tree, a red light on the bottom, 2 yellow lights and the green light on top. And we are racing in Missouri from the outside. Emma Gotch grabs the whole shot on the 5 bike.
A big launch there. Rodriguez on the inside kind of hesitated quite a bit, had a lag on letting the clutch out of that one. It's going to be Emma Gotch.
The 2 bike up to second, Michaela Nichols. Here comes the 113, Maticela Rodriguez. She's on the bottom. Taya Little goes up the racetrack. They're trying to go 3 wide in turn number 4. Get them all pointed in the right direction. This is a qualifying heat race. And I'm assuming how they qualify out of here is how they'll start both main events is what we're thinking up here in the booth. They actually didn't tell us that in the meeting. We'll see.
What a surprise for us.
Yeah.
Rodriguez going around the outside, though, up to second.
Here comes Taya Little around the outside on the 11. She's from Welland, Ontario, Canada. So we got South Dakota rider out front. Now Maticela Rodriguez moves into second on the 113. Chasing down the leader. She's from Lacey, Washington. Canadian rider in 3rd.
Maticela's got a shot at the championship, and she's going to have a really good day here.
We got 2 races. You need to have a very good day and well in both main events. Out front, it is the 5, Emma Gotch. Here comes the 113, Maricela Rodriguez is on the move. She's got the fastest lap. That last time by was the fastest lap of the race for the 113, a 1:09.567. But here comes Taya Little around the outside.
Yeah, Taya Little's picked up the pace here. Rodriguez was able to get to the backside of Emma Gotch, but now she's going to have to find her way around. She went around the outside earlier on, but now it's Taya Little has the high side.
The higher line is definitely working for the 11 bike. Now she's going to try to go around the outside of the 5. Here comes Taya Little. White flag is out. Heat race action for the Royal Enfield Build Train race. The 11 at the very edge of the groove. Making the pass and taking the lead. Here comes Taya Little.
Yeah, Taya Little, will she be able to finish the pass here? Yeah, she will. She'll take the lead into 3 for the final time with Emma Gotch in second.
Last lap, last corner heat race for the Royal Enfields. Taya Little taking the win. Emma Gotch is second. The 113, Maricela Rodriguez will finish up in the top third, the third position out there. 4th is Michaela Nichols. 5th is Maya Maffei. Thumbs up right there. You can tell Emma wasn't too happy about it, but she slid back to 2nd. Maricela Rodriguez is 3rd. A 2.
It's never good getting passed on the last lap.
You never want to do that. Doesn't matter if it's a heat race or a main event. It just doesn't matter. You don't want to get passed on the last lap. That was their qualifying heat race for the ladies from the Royal Enfield Build Train Race program. They'll have 2 main events later on this evening. Now it's time to get back into qualifying.
Get the singles back out there.
Not like you. You're married? Is that what you're talking about?
I got distracted.
Single
I got a
cylinder
photo
motorcycles.
of my old Harley.
That is your old Harley. Is it orange on one side and black on the other?
It is. Like they had him in 2017. Remember Davis Fisher? They had him out there.
Yeah, on the XG.
He was the first guy riding them.
Here they come. Final round of qualifying. AFT Singles presented by Kicker Performance Audio. Drain will lead the way. If he wins today, he'll be tied on 2nd all-time in the AFT Singles class with Shannon Texter-Bauman with 19 wins. He's got a big podium streak going on, too, as well.
He's done a really good job. Yeah, ever since he came over here, raced Lima, and that day, that was the first time that I believe I ever got to call some races with you.
Oh, yeah.
And from that day on, it was Tom Drain's coming, and then he comes back and races Springfield Mile, and he did a really good job there. Was able to get this ride here with Essence and Racing, and ever since then, it's been, we've seen this coming.
Do you think he'll take a venture and go to the Super Twins class next year, or what would you do if you're Tom Drain?
I'd just try to stack up some records.
You think so?
Yeah. Go another year here, defend the title, run the #1 plate. It's really cool having a #1 plate. Money.
There is Braden Fanders out there, the 83 bike. Braden Fanders.
He's had a good year. And this is probably, so last year it got cut short. He had that big incident there.
Texas.
Yep, in Texas. He got hurt. And this year he's, had some hit-offs, but luckily he's been able to stay for the most part healthy other than in Sonoy. He had that huge incident.
That was a wild ride. He moves up to 4th. So we're talking about the 83 Braden Fanders up to 4th on the KTM. The only KTM in the top 10 spots.
What about Bauer, though? Top spot. And Chad Coast in 2nd. He must have
listened to us.
Drained with 3/1000ths of a second. Better Tad, and everything's switching around, Scotty.
Drain 17.484 in round 1, 17.484 in round number 2. Do you think that bike's dialed in?
Oh, but Chad Coast says not so long, Scotty.
17.454. Chad must have known we were talking about him in that last qualifying session. He jumps to the top spot. That's the fastest lap we've seen. The 49 is your quick time so far. Fanders goes to 6th. Checkered flag next time by for Big PR Flagman. He gets it ready. He's got it waiting for him as we go back and find Chad Coase. He's battling with Jared Lowe, the jet back here. Drain goes to the top spot on that last lap.
That's going to frustrate Chad because he wasn't able to finish that lap. Jared Lowe was in his line, so Chad Coase is going to have to sit in 2nd.
We're going to ride it down. We're going to wait. That's the fastest lap we've seen in the singles class.
I'd probably write it down, Scotty.
All right, listen. You're not writing anything down today. Are you off, or you quit, or what?
Hand's heavy.
Oh, your left hand is very heavy. Tom Drain on that last lap takes the top spot with a 17.398 for the 59 bike. Here's your 2024 AFT Singles champ. Locked it up 2 rounds ago at the Springfield Mile #1. Up next is our final group of qualifying out here today. It's the second group of our AFT Singles class. Gautier on the 79, Porter's on the 100, Anselmi 15, Sintel 249, Paddock 46, Bronson Pierce 132, Vandekoy's on the 43, Caleb Martin 101, and McLean Drucker on the 42 bike. Last round of qualifying out here already at the Lake Ozark short track.
Cody's got a lot of laps around this place so far today. Is he the only one doing double duty? I believe he is. So yeah, Dalton Cody is the only guy riding both classes. He's been on the racetrack recently. Let's see if he's able to use that as an advantage now.
Just getting up to full speed. Here he comes off of 4. See how he slots in on that 79 bike. Moves down to 11. Walker Porter, the fastest on the racetrack that time by the 100 bike, who's chasing Dalton.
And what about Trevor Bruner, sitting 10th in this session? I'm not sure what his overall time is currently.
Now 12th as Reese Podorf is the fastest bike on the racetrack. The 46 bike moves into 9th, the Kansas rider. Bringing with him Skylar Sintel up to 10th, the Michigan rider.
Walker Porter looking for a good result to end the year off with here and build some momentum going into 2026. Daytona
and into silly season. Don't know if he's got a ride for next year or not.
That too.
A lot
Did
of
you
these
get tickets yet for Daytona?
I'd already saw it. March 5th
March
and
5th and 6th. I'll be there.
I don't know if I need a ticket or if I need a credential. I'm not sure what I'm going to need yet.
I'll be there.
No matter what?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Daytona Bike Week. Justin Anselmi out there and Bronson Pierce coming off the corner now. I believe that's Caleb Martin and then
there's Anselmi. Rode for a couple different people. The Waters Auto Body said they would take care of the left coast races and had a little different sponsor over here on the right side in the middle. And Selmy, the 15.
Left coast, Scott. Are you looking from the north down
Oh, man,
south?
I'm upside down. Yeah, the right coast. He rode for the Waters Auto Body, the east side.
I see that high school diploma.
I don't have one.
Sitting over on the outside edge of that seat, trying to get that Yamaha to get as much grip as he can, coming to the checkered.
You know who sat like that a lot? Brad Baker. He sat on that right side of that seat.
Yeah.
Pushed that motorcycle down.
His elbow would have been a little bit higher, though.
Definitely.
Anselmi's elbow was a little low there compared to what Brad would be doing.
Drain, top spot in every session since that first round of practice when Chad Coase was with a 1:7.819. So the track got about a half a second faster. Here is qualifying round number 2. Drain at the top spot, 1:7.398. Chad Coase second. Santero's up there, third, the California rider. Bauer, the Canadian rider, is fourth. Tadman in his rookie season is fifth. Braden Fanders, Aiden Rusev, Jared Lowe, Reese Podorf, and Skylar Sintel. Bruner way back in 13th on that number 21 bike. So practice and qualifying is in the books. We have an open paddock area right now going on until 7 o'clock. If you're here with us, you can come to the pits right now. And don't forget, at 5:15, we'll have some twin rider interviews on that front straightaway. At 5:35, we'll have the Bill Train Race ladies up there doing their interviews. And at 5:55, the FT Singles riders will be up there doing autographs on that front straightaway. Ruth will be taking care of all that stuff. So nothing happening on the track until 7 o'clock. That will be opening ceremonies here today at the final round, Progressive American Flat Track. After opening ceremonies, get into our heat races, our first Royal Enfield main event, and our last chance qualifiers, our challenge races, and then the 3 main events here tonight. So we're done on the action on the track until 7 o'clock for opening ceremonies.